Well, hello everyone. You have here to talk about for next up the best, Microsoft right here, and I'm sure that most of us, are familiar with like Microsoft, the Microsoft software. If you're going to have a Microsoft Store access to, like, say, a Microsoft ID, but you have right here of talking about, for Microsoft right here, and say with Microsoft with like a Microsoft account right here. And I'm sure that if anybody will warrant toward exactly that, whenever you're introduced to something, and especially if it's going to maybe be an account, and one of those could be, maybe related to that, if you were buying a drink or something like, yeah, that, if you were getting maybe a cold drink or something like that, or maybe you're getting any sorts of candy. But nowadays, with technology, that you would even be working on your homework, and let's just say that if they say, if the schools tell you that you would have to have an account, at somewhere, on a certain site, just to be able to have access to your class materials. So you're likely wondering to where, yeah, that a lot of the software programs that you're going to be using will be related to, like, maybe Apple, or Mac, or if it's going to be a Microsoft, through Microsoft or Seagate or Gateway, computers or something like that. But you talk about right here, you have right here these students right here. So let's just say that, yeah, that while you're in school, then you would have like a Microsoft ID. So yeah, that you know, based on from what I learned about a lot of this stuff, was basically like, yeah, about how old were you whenever you were first introduced to the Microsoft, the Microsoft technology, and yeah, I would probably say that if anything, it was probably of early of '97 that I was that might have been another brand, company make, but besides like the Xbox, but nowadays with a lot of our computers that despite if you have an Xbox One game console, that you would still have access to a few other, like, the store options, and you'll be able to buy and rent movies and some sort of like that. But you're likely thinking is that, yeah, that, let's just say that you were told, a lot of kids were probably told by their parents, is that, hey, that, you're supposed to be working on your homework. So let's just say that, yeah, that nowadays with video games, that can you really be doing your homework at the same time that you're playing a video game? So, like, a lot of kids, students, probably a few students will maybe say that, yeah, that while that they're studying, doing their homework, that they're playing a game. And so a lot of that stuff, a lot of that fun stuff that I'm sure back back in the old days, is like, say, is that, yeah, that when was there a time to where you were being graded just for playing, yeah, that a few of those, like, Scramble or something like that, or maybe Monopoly. I'm like that. There was other games that you liked playing whenever you were young, but really, was that really a part of your homework? But you have these the Microsoft account, but I use this right here as an example right here, of like for online connection right here, but online network. But you have right here, I talk about for like candy, like a Reese's, and if anybody say that, yeah, that you would be able to, let's just say if Microsoft account were to mail you a free candy bar just for, yeah, downloading a mobile application, or if it was what you call it, thanks for shopping with us. So yeah, that if you're going to have a Microsoft account, and let's just say if you order something, or you redeem a code, or maybe that just for a special thanks for using our service, that sorts of stuff. So, like I say, that yeah, that students that may have an account just for school reasons, and you're likely thinking this to where that, yeah, that is there going to be yeah, that they've already got the Reese's Big Cup, but is there going to be a sequel to the Reese's? Yeah, exactly. A sequel, like, have it like maybe the 4-layer cup or something like that, the 4-layer Big Cup or something like that. At the time, who knows what they're going to have, but still, that if it's going to be the Three Musketeers. But you're likely thinking as to where if there was a candy store online, then how many kids do you think they would want to, get an account and place their orders, and exactly that maybe they don't even have to have a credit card just to buy it, but they had to earn enough points. I'm like, I guess, yeah, that with video games nowadays, it seems like that you can play those games and earn points. You earn points and credits, and then you will be able to buy stuff from the store. And say if they have like what you call this gift shops. But still that talk about for English 1 and 2. But talk about with most students though, that they will wonder to where that after taking, if there's going to be what you call a 1 or 2, subject 1 or 2 of a certain topic it is, then you're also wondering that if that there was like a subject called English and Advanced Biography. So English and Advanced Biography, and like a student, like any students that may want to, that okay, if English and Advanced Biography, and then let's just say if there's an English Advanced Biography too, that requires you to have an account online and requires you to sign in, from a mobile phone, from a mobile device, and ask you to complete, turn in a document, including like this is how you need to save it. So yeah, that other things that they're going to have nowadays, and you likely warrant to where that how are you going to have discipline? How are our children going to have discipline if they're going to have this source of stuff that makes it more interesting? And you're worried about that too, to where that you can't have your special treat until you get a good grade on a test, or until after you do your homework. But let's just say if the school offers to give you a special treat, or maybe if you're offered a special treat maybe for your account. So it's like, yeah, exactly, that having a Microsoft account, that of course, there's always going to be a reason to why that the son or daughter or somebody's going to maybe say that, exactly that, all you got to say is just please, and then they'll give it to you. But still, that most of the time with like a Microsoft account, that if anybody will warn to where that if you're going to have one, that I remember, I say, yeah, if you call maybe tech support or somebody, then like I say that, that if you would have had an account, if it's something that you purchased or something like that, or maybe if you have like an Xbox game console or some game console like that you would have an account through like a Microsoft store. But still, that nowadays with technology, that it would require an account. But still, that you got that account mainly for school reasons. Let's just say if you had to take a sequel of the matter, you had to take English 1 or English 2, or it could be what you call that English and Advanced Biography class. And so you're like, I think is that you mainly had got the account just for training, or just for working for business reasons. And so you're likely thinking is to where back whenever I was in school that one year, I can remember that I was selling magazines. Yeah, I was a student, but if you go around your neighborhood and if you will be selling catalogs or magazines, or, candy bars, I'm like, if you have a few neighbors that want to buy, yeah, exactly, that, candy bars, or maybe if it was a newspaper ads, I'm like, yeah, anything that you think that maybe a few neighbors that want to buy something from a catalog or something. But if you were to be going around the neighborhood maybe selling Microsoft stuff, let's just say if it was flash drives, yeah, but how many of us would know of anybody who wanted to buy a flash drive, or maybe a cell phone, a cover or something like that, or maybe about maybe one of those cell phone battery operated chargers or something like that, made by Microsoft. So you're likely thinking as to where that a lot of that stuff, which you would maybe think that it's not really a part of your class assignment, what you were graded for mainly was, how well that you did on the math test, or, if there was any spelling errors or anything like that. But still, though, that you're likely thinking as to where that, at one point in time, to where if you're going to be asked to where if you can sell, some candy bars, or maybe, like I see, they'll give you the forms of what you need, like ask anybody that, refer them to the Microsoft Service account, and then, they would award you for something special. But this is something that I want to point out right here, everybody, was candy bars that, I'm sure almost any kids in the neighborhood, even if it was for an ice cream, for an ice cream, if you're going to be saying that, yeah, you can order ice cream using your Microsoft account. All you got to do is just follow these steps. So how many kids would say that they want an ice cream, or that, yeah, exactly, popsicle or something like that? Kids said back whenever you were young, if you want a special treat, then, exactly, you would tell them about the Microsoft account, and they say that you would get a special treat, and just for thanks for using our service. But still, yeah, exactly, that special treat, huh? But just knowing about that, say the rules and restrictions also. But you're also thinking too that whenever you first get an account through Microsoft, or maybe through Adobe, or other sites like that, that you're also thinking too that that you got it mainly for school reasons, but still, that I guess kids would probably think too that whenever they were first introduced, whenever children are first introduced to something like this, they might look at that as to where something that they want. So half the time you weren't to if it's even something that you need. And why would you be going to your Microsoft account, even for insurance? And I know a lot of times, even if it's text messaging, that people are going to say that you're going to maybe have sales. I'm like, yeah, that offer you insurance or special buys on the products. But let's just say if it was subjects to where that, if there is a class during the part of the quarter to where English 2, do you know anybody who wants to buy any Microsoft stuff? Well, here's a few steps that you can follow. So yeah, that, talking about, introducing what you do and how this works, and then assuming how it works to somebody. And, yeah, exactly. So not everybody is going to know how to do it. So it seems like half the time that, the grade book is not just about, turn in the paper, or, exactly, about putting your name on the test, the time the test started, and, all that stuff. But still, though, that having a Microsoft account, we could probably say that, whenever you're going to have a Microsoft account, you may use this for school reasons, for class reasons. And you're also thinking, too, that, whenever most schools would ask you to get an account through Microsoft, but then use it for that certain reasons, for the certain plan that you're going to be under. But still, that, how many of us would maybe say that how often is it used for a dating site? Yeah, how often are you going to meet somebody special if you're going to be in class, and let's just say that, you can order sandwiches, through using your Microsoft account. And you can meet somebody, and that, they asked you out, to go to lunch or something like that, and you're likely one or two that, Microsoft, if you're going to have a Microsoft ID, it seems like it's the best of luck and knowing about you for, any good opportunities that could happen also. But the way I think about it too, that I mainly want to talk about subjects that are what's called the continuous, from the first step to where they actually complete the first. And then let's just say if you are enrolled in a class that's called English 2 or maybe English 3, or it could also be what you call advanced word file photography 2 or maybe 3, something like that. Then you're also one or two that Microsoft, that that if you're going to have any sorts of Microsoft products, they're going to have what you call like a sequel to where it's going to be called Rabbit Ear Extreme or something like that. Something that by Microsoft or something, but still, whenever we're going to have an account, we know that if you're going to use it for school or for business reasons, that it seems like exactly if it's not part of my grade, and tell anybody, yeah, exactly. And I don't really blame anybody either. You feel like saying this to where if it's not part of my grade, then I'm not going to spend any more than 5 minutes, working on that. But still, that let's just say if you were scheduled to take a test, and let's just say that exactly that somebody's asking you to get into your store and get the special deal on these products or something like that. So you're likely thinking too that exactly that whenever you're in a test, and that usually means that no distractions. That usually means that try to they gave you up to 1 to 2 hours just to be able to complete the to fill out the best of your knowledge, that sorts of stuff. But the way I think about too, that having a Microsoft account, having any source of account, that you're also thinking too that for all that you do, like all that you're going to be working with on there on that Microsoft account, that you're also thinking too that yeah, exactly, that if it's not a part of your grade, and then yeah, that but still that but talk about for a Microsoft account though, that what is next to the best topic from here, talk about for a Microsoft account. Back whenever I was young, that yeah, you seen a lot of those catalogs about the microphones and maybe the boom boxes and music, purchase of the soundtracks or something like that. But still, though, that you're also talking about the things that you remember that you would buy something, but then also that your parents would tell you that no, you gotta concentrate on your homework. But at the time, you were too that I thought buying a candy bar was part of my homework. So you're likely thinking as to where you thought buying a candy bar was part of your homework, well, that sounds more like a treat. Well, I don't know. I guess what's the best answer to what we consider homework? Because like I say, that all I was playing a Pac-Man, or I was playing Sonic, or I was playing a game. Hide and seek on that Nintendo or on the Xbox game console, and I came up to these what you call the Microsoft account, to where that say that 3 Disney movies, or like three comic, three of the best-selling features or something like that, and for certain for certain I guess for that special offer, but anyway, talk about for subjects right here. That if there's going to be like a sequel to a subject, that I'll say too, is like having a Microsoft account. It seems like the whole process just keeps on going and going and going. But you're also thinking too that okay, exactly, that whenever you start working on something, and it seems like you just cannot expect to where that this is all that you're going to do. It goes by the next step is to where that you introduce what you do. To the audience, and then let's just say if somebody else figures it out, or they're just curious to know about what else can you tell us, or what else can you do? But what else have you learned so far? But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Talk about for the next to the best Microsoft, and as I talk about for the Microsoft online account.